Welcome to Akira's Ascendancy. This channel is meant to empower men to become their greatest selves. Today's topic is penis size and women's preference for penis size. As we know, with the advent of internet porn, penis size perception has been distorted. The selection of porn actors, camera angles, and women's partly fake appreciation depicted in porn have contributed to this. There's also a ton of bad YouTube videos out there concerned with the topic, and I do find them simply inconclusive. That's why I've spent entire days of research for this video to present you the most interesting data. Be sure to watch the entire video so you can have a complete understanding of what length and girth women want and what the actual importance of this is. In this video, we are going to have a look at multiple studies and surveys to get a better understanding of what it is that women want in a good D. Now let's first have a look at what men have to offer on average to have a reference. For this, we look at the CalcSD study set. CalcSD is a website where you can calculate your placement on the D scale. There are also no self-reported studies included, which minimizes error since, guess what, people tend to exaggerate their D size. Please note that penis length is usually measured as bone pressed, so measured from the pubic bone. And this is what we refer to here as it is the established way to measure length. Now the global average is somewhere around 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters in erect length, and 4.6 inches or 11.7 centimeters in erect girth. And this data comes from multiple countries all around the world like Brazil, China and the United States. 5.5 inches is about the length of a birthday card or an iPhone 7. When we look at the Western average, we find that the average length is about 5.8 inches or 14.7 centimeters in erect length and 4.7 inches or 11.9 centimeters in girth. These studies were from multiple countries located in the Western Hemisphere, like for example the United States and Germany. So now that we know what size most men average around, let's come to the interesting part. What size do women actually want? So in the first study we look at, which is from 2015, Nicole Prause and her colleagues had 75 women select amongst 33 3D models. And here it was found that women preferred a penis of slightly larger circumference and length for one-time partners, with a length of 6.4 inches or 16.3 centimeters and a circumference of 5.0 inches or 12.7 centimeters. For long-term partners, women wanted a little less, but still above the male average, with a length of 6.3 inches or 16 centimeters and a circumference of 4.8 inches, 12.2 centimeters for long-term partners. And these first estimates of erect penis size preferences using 3D models suggest women prefer penises only slightly larger than average. Then there is a study from the Journal of Sex Research concerned with sex toy popularity conducted as a morphological analysis by Johns and Bushnell. They used data from the world's largest online sexual wellness retailer, which is called Love Honey, and examined the dimensions, price and morphological features of 265 sex toys designed for vaginal insertion to determine what contributes to the item's popularity. So in other words, they examined dildos for their sizes and how popular they are. They found that the insertable length in the sample was significantly larger, with a mean of 7.07 inches than the global average of 5.5 inches. Additionally, circumference was also found to be significantly girthier in the sample, with a mean of 5.52 inches when compared to the mean global circumference of 4.6 inches. Interestingly, rather than length and realistic features, price and circumference significantly predicted the overall popularity of a toy. However, the data indicates that products with a smaller circumference were most popular. The top 5 most popular products in the sample had an average circumference of 4.85 inches, which is only slightly larger than the average wiener girth. So what we see here is that women buy toys that are definitely somewhat bigger. However, this does not always translate into higher popularity of the item. This study does give some indication, but may also relate to toys more than actual penises, where the use is just different from normal penetrative intercourse. Then we have the Bad Girls Bible survey. And in this survey, 91% of women said penis size matters. This is in stark contrast to what another study by Frank and al. Noted, where 80% of women answering questionnaires did not care about penis size and said it does not matter. However, this side is about better sex, and you will probably find female sex aficionados here, so it will probably matter more to them in comparison to the wider public, if you will. And they asked about 1,400 women regarding their preferences for penis size. And this is one of the most interesting surveys because it clearly outlines that there is of course individual preferences when it comes to size, but for most women there is a sweet spot with regard to size. Now the range of 1 to 3 inches gets a bad rating by women, with over 80% perceiving it as too small. This is likely due to the physical aspect of stimulation. And we can see a significant drop in dissatisfaction when we come to 5 inches, which is enough for more than 60% of women. 6 inch is enough for over 85%, and from there it is only tiny fractions of women that find the larger sizes too small. And interestingly, 1.66% found a 12-inch penis too small, and that is over 30 centimeters. But don't despair, alright? It can also get too big. While most women can still accommodate a 7-inch penis, 8-inch penises are too much for 20% of the girls. And this number rises abruptly at 9 inches. Less than half do still appreciate a 9-inch D, and based on my impressions during research, I do assume that the number outside of the survey would be even higher. Almost 80% of the girls did not want a D at 11 inches or bigger. So there is a clear limit towards good. And interestingly, 4.5% reported that a 6-inch penis is too big for them, meaning that their V's are probably a little bit smaller, and that's why they prefer smaller than average penises. So when we combine all this data, we get the following picture. On average, women do like bigger D's, but they don't like them too big. We can clearly see that the popular zone is in the range of 6 to 8 inches. This is what most women define as size that can fully satisfy them, and that's between 15 and 20 centimeters. So what's very interesting is that 2/3 of women in the survey said they had sex with a partner with a big member. And of this group, only about 60% found it satisfying. So of the whole group of women that took part in the survey, only about 1/3 had sex with a partner with a big penis and also enjoyed it. So that's not good news for these when they get too big. The main cause for this dissatisfaction is plain and simple pain. If a penis is too long or too girthy, it can get uncomfortably painful for the girl and she cannot feel as much pleasure. The data revealed that around 60% of women who found big penis intercourse unsatisfying said it was due to penis length, meaning the member being too long, and over 30% of those who found it unsatisfying said it was due to the D being too girthy. So although women do seem to like longer and girthier penises, many also don't like them too big. So what's the final take of this survey on penis size? So the survey finds that 7.22 inches is the average ideal penis length. And again we see that the wider popular zone is between 5 and 9 inches, and that covers around 92% of what women found ideal, and the most popular zone is between 6 and 8 inches, which covers around 78% of women's choice in this survey. When we see the distribution of what women find ideal, we see the individuality of choices reflected. There is no particular ideal size. It totally depends on the woman you are with and her taste and her sexual preferences. Anything under 6 to 8 inches is only popular with around 7% of the girls, and anything over is only popular with about 15% of the girls. So 85% of women don't like anything over 8 inches, and it is too big to be considered ideal for satisfaction and pleasure. Absorb that. So women in the survey found width and length to be equally important, and this emphasizes that length is not the only relevant factor. This is likely due to length enabling to hit the G-spot and fill the vaginal canal fully and also stimulate her cervix, while girth leads to greater clitoral stimulation and also allows to reach the G-spot better. It is also about ratio, as other data that I won't include here for reasons of brevity indicates. So women usually don't like pencils, but they don't like Coke cans either. Women in this survey liked larger girth for a penis, with 5.94 inches on average. And this is quite high above the male average of 4.6 for global and 4.7 inches for Western average girth. Women also indicated that this is due to the partner therefore hitting the spots and the feeling of being full, with about 2/3 of women who enjoyed sex with a well-endowed partner saying this. So what do all studies and surveys have in common? What can we say in conclusion? On average, women do prefer larger than average penises, but they don't like it too large. The findings indicate that the ideal size is between 6 and 8 inches for most women. They indicate that the ideal circumference is between 5 and 6 inches for most women. So when we combine the data from these 3 studies and surveys, we find that 6.9 inches is the average ideal length, which is about 17.5 centimeters. Also, we find that 5.5 inches is the average ideal circumference, and this is 13.9 centimeters. So there you have it. The average ideal penis is about 7 inches or 17.5 centimeters in length and 5.5 inches or around 14 centimeters in circumference. So women do like their penises a bit longer and girthier, but not too long or too girthy, and neither do they want it too short or too thin. So after all of this D-size analysis, what's the contextual importance that we should really attribute to it? I mentioned earlier that Franken et al. Conducted a study on what females want in a man, and they found around 80% of women said they don't attribute importance to penis size, while around 20% found it to be of importance. In the Bad Girls Bible survey, over 90% found it to be relevant, but it is difficult to say how relevant relating to other features. So we do have a stark contrast here, and we need some clarification. We are helped here by a study conducted by the menstrual cycle app Clue in cooperation with My One Condoms and the University of Göttingen in Germany. With 68,000 people in 180 countries as a database, this was a very reliable large-scale study that gives us some indication. So for a long-term partner, they found an attractive smile and attractive eyes were most important amongst women. An average-sized penis was the next most important physical feature and significantly more important in the study than a large penis. And speaking of traits, the most important trait for a long-term partner was kindness. Absorb that. Also, character traits trumped physical traits in what is most important in a long-term partner before physical traits like an attractive face and an attractive body. But this is so interesting as it shows for long-term partnership, your character is the predominant criterion for mating choice, basically. Now when we look at short-term partnership, physical traits become more relevant. Here women rated an attractive face and attractive body as most important. For example, around 66% viewed an attractive face as important in a short-term partner versus 41% in a long-term partner. And this distinction was even more pronounced in an attractive body, which 63% of women found very important in a short-term partner versus only 22% in a long-term partner. And we can also see that having a large penis as a man rises in importance, but still an average penis was rated very important by more women. And it should be noted here, they could have chosen both. So probably those that care about penis size rated penises as important versus those that didn't rate them as very important. So to sum up, we should put it like this. The penis is of some importance, but it is not of particularly high importance to have a man with a big penis for most women. Rather, it is important that you have one at all, and if you're average, you're good. This is particularly true for long-term partners, but also somewhat right for short-term partners. Your physical appearance overall and your character trump the importance of your penis in most cases, especially in the long run. And it should be noted here, so do your skills in bed before the size of your member. Remember that most of all studies show that confidence, enjoyable personality, and attraction are the best predictors of sexual satisfaction. Women are emotional creatures. And especially for long-term partnership, the relevant criterion is, of course, emotional connection. Now, what can we conclude with regards to penis size? We have to say preferences depend on the woman. This is quite evident. And in summary, it appears that a size between 6 and 8 inches as well as a girth between 5 and 6 inches is most popular. Below, it might lack the ability for physical stimulation, and above, it might become painful or impractical. And from countless anecdotal stories I've read in the research for this video, many women had amazing sexual encounters with men who were below average or average in size. So this basically confirms the aforementioned findings in the Clue study. So whatever you got, man, be big, small, or average, be your best self, man. Appreciate what you have, put it to good use. That is the most important thing of all. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like and subscribe if you appreciate this video. I put tons of effort into it, so it will count like as a grateful thank you from your side to do so. It's just one click for you, but it means the world to me. And I will also list all the websites and surveys I got the data from, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in diving deep into the material. So there you have it, guys. Best of luck putting your D to good use, or if you're a female visitor, then best of luck appreciating what you get, and stay awesome.